Good evening, I'm Jonathan Swingler. A police officer who crashed into and killed a pensioner while responding to an emergency call has been jailed for more than 2 years. Mark Roberts, who's 57, was answering a 999 call for a choking baby when he crashed into Ronald and Muriel Pinkney's motorbike in Gateshead in July 2022. Muriel, who was 74, died days later in hospital. Her family said today they didn't want to see Roberts jailed. Stuart Wincup reports.
PC Mark Roberts said today he was heartbroken that his actions had led to the death of a much-loved wife and mother. He'd been responding to a 999 call when he was speeding through a red light and crashed into the motorbike. It was near the Metro Centre in Gateshead in 2022 when he crashed into and killed 74-year-old Muriel Pinkney, who was the pillion passenger, and seriously injured her husband Ronald, who was riding the bike. The police officer had been responding to an emergency call about a choking baby. He said it was a tragic accident, but he was found guilty of dangerous driving. But in a moving statement, the couple's daughter, Dawn, said although she was devastated, she and her father didn't blame the police officer for what happened. As a family, she said they didn't want to see his life ruined and him go to prison for simply doing his job. She said the family believed this was a tragic accident and sending him to prison would not bring their mother back. The court heard Roberts had tried to give first aid to the couple at the scene after regaining consciousness after the crash, and he was said to have had an exemplary army career serving in Yugoslavia, Northern Ireland and Afghanistan, and had dedicated his life to public service. But Judge Laird said Roberts, who was seen here with the ball head at an earlier hearing getting into the back of a car, made serious errors while driving and his speed was too high. He'd been so focused on getting to his destination, he failed to notice the motorbike. He was jailed for 2 years, 3 months and banned from driving for 5 years. Stuart Wincup, BBC Look North, at Teesside Crown Court in Middlesbrough.
Resident doctors across the region have walked out on strike today. It's their 15th strike over pay and training issues in recent years. The doctors, who used to be known as junior doctors, say their pay has not kept up with inflation. The government says the strikes are costing the NHS £50 million a day. Mark Denton reports from the picket line at Newcastle's RVI.
This is the 15th strike by resident doctors since March 2023, and in the last 4 years resident doctors have had 33% pay increases in a series of pay deals, but they say their pay has still fallen behind when taking account of inflation. You're not just being greedy.
We're not just being greedy. We acknowledge that there's been an uplift that has been more than other professions have received. But what you also need to do is you need to put that into context of the fact that we've seen far greater erosion than other public sector health workers have seen.
The strikes are not just about pay, though. They're also about training. But the government had offered an extra 1,000 training places for resident doctors, but that's been taken off the table due to these latest strikes.
It's incredibly frustrating because we know those 1,000 training places wouldn't only benefit doctors, they would benefit the public. We exist in an NHS where patients are waiting weeks, months, sometimes years to see doctors in their appointments. To make those waiting lists come down, part of the thing we need to do is actually increase the amount of consultants that we have.
Well, the Department of Health and Social Care in a statement say the government has offered a generous deal, and it's disappointing, they say, the BMA has pressed on with strike action. They say the attention of the NHS will now be focused on minimising disruption. Mark Denton, BBC North at the RVI in Newcastle.
Liberal Democrat leader Sir Ed Davey has been visiting Newcastle to support his party's campaign in next month's local elections. Sir Ed met voters and party activists at a community garden in Heaton. He said the region had lost faith in Labour and insisted the Lib Dems had the policies and track record to make gains.
It's Liberal Democrats who've been the main opposition to Labour in places like Newcastle and Gateshead. We've got that established role in the community. People trust the work that local Liberal Democrat councillors do. They know that if they back Liberal Democrats, they're backing local champions. And I think increasingly people like what we're saying on the fuel crisis, the fact that petrol and diesel prices have gone up so much. They know it's been the Liberal Democrats who are arguing for a 10p cut in the price of a litre of petrol diesel.
And And as the local election campaign hots up, we are speaking to the leaders of all the main parties when they visit our region. Now, we're used to daffodils being a sign of spring, but one North Yorkshire farm has opened a new tulip festival. More than 250,000 bulbs have been planted at the site near Thirsk. There are 50 different varieties and a huge array of colours across 3 acres of land. Is it good weather for them though? How's the weather doing? Here's Jen with the forecast.
Hello again, good evening. It's been a lovely day out there today. More of that to come as we head into Wednesday. It's going to be dry and sunny, and for many of us, it's going to be feeling quite warm. The temperatures overnight tonight will drop down to around 6 or 7 degrees. Then tomorrow morning, we start off with a lovely sunrise and plenty of sunshine. Just a little bit of high-level cloud building in from the west as we head through the afternoon, but most places will stay dry, and those temperatures with a light southeasterly breeze boosted to around 19, possibly 20 degrees Celsius, feeling much warmer along that east coast than it has been today, but parts of Cumbria may struggle to get beyond around 12 or 13 degrees. It's all changed though as we head into Thursday. Our next weather system moving in, bringing some heavy rain during the morning, sunshine and showers in the afternoon, and highs of 12 degrees.
That's all from the late team. Thanks for joining us. Robin is back with bulletins early tomorrow. You can also stay up to date with the BBC News app and the BBC website, of course. Bye for now.